Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Guys, this is going to be a very quick video. I just wanted to use this time to show everyone really how expansive things are getting and to give everyone a big picture here as far as all of the banks that we could potentially be seeing in the very near future getting themselves locked into place, either using Ripple's network or now using Corda's network, which is actually built by R3. And you can actually see here from r3.com we have Corda network launches with new governing foundation. This is something that was just recently released. And of course, looking a little bit further, you can see Corda network launches with new governing foundation, which will allow digital assets and data to flow easily and securely between businesses running Corda or Corda Enterprise. Corda Network Foundation is now set up to independently govern the network. And of course, as of the 16th of January in London, R3 has launched Corda Network, the underlying open shared blockchain network linking participants using Corda. And of course, the Corda network will be operated and managed by a new independent not-for-profit organization called the Corda Network Foundation. Of course, again, you can see here that this right here being this big network designed on Corda platform by R3 is something that kind of mimics what I think is taking place with the Ripple network. This is just on a much smaller scale here. But the idea here, guys, is that we have now this network of community banks, different banks from all over the world as well, that are connecting together using Corda platform, again, designed by R3. And if you are familiar with R3 and how they are connected to Ripple, you understand that they recently came out having created what's called the Corda settler, which allows anyone who is using the Corda network to actually settle any of their payments universally through XRP, because at this point in time the Corda settler is running the currency XRP as the means for transferring payments back and forth. That could actually expand itself outward, but at this point in time, again, it's simply using XRP. So any company, any bank, financial institution that is established on the Corda network right now, or the Corda platform through R3, they can actually settle any payments universally, again, through the Corda settler, which was designed between Ripple and R3. So there's a bit of a connection there that's going to help for universal payments between those two companies, linking all the banks and financial institutions together. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because we have, again, this new launch here from the Corda network, which is very much like the Ripple network from what I've gathered here. So keep that in mind, guys. And of course, I wanted to connect this information here directly with one last thing I found very interesting here. So here we have an article from businessinsider.com where we can see that back in May of 2018, we got a general idea of the 50 largest banks in Europe by their total assets. So I understand that this right here is getting close to about a year old. The idea here, though, is that we have a display of all the top 50 banks in Europe, again, by their total assets around that time. And of course, as you can see on this start of this list here, HSBC is on the top of the list. Look all the way to the right hand side where it says total assets, and you can see where it says 2100. That is actually registered in billions, which means that is the equivalent of $2.1 trillion in total assets for that bank. So keep that in mind when you're scrolling down this list here, again, of the top 50. Something else to keep in mind when you're scrolling through this list here, guys, is that a lot of these names here are very familiar for their involvement, whether it's dealing with Ripple or it's dealing with R3 or even the Hyperledger fabric, and of course, which is going to be led into the Hyperledger quilt. I know it's a lot of information. If you're new to this channel, I have content when it comes to explaining this. Please make sure you go through any of my videos or simply just go through YouTube and look this up. So of course, looking at this information here, you can actually see, again, HSBC is on the top of the list. You have BNP, you also have Deutsche Bank, you have Banco Santander. So again, the names here that are very familiar and that are linking directly to, again, Ripple or R3 are standing out. I want to make this a little bit easier for everyone to actually visualize, and of course I have actually left a link on my Twitter page so you can take a look at this as well. So what I've done here, guys, is I took that list of the largest banks in Europe and I highlighted all of the banks that are directly related to R3, Ripple, or even the Hyperledger fabric, just to kind of give you guys, again, a general visual idea of how expansive this is actually becoming. Now, just a quick side note, when I took this screenshot, I was not able to capture all 50 banks, but that's fine. As you can see, really, a lot of the highlights kind of end at the top 30 of these banks, which are really going to be your predominant banks anyways. And I would imagine at some point in time, if all these banks do get linked up again through R3, Ripple, or a Hyperledger, they'll eventually be able to allow for any of the tag-along banks to get onboarded as well. But I wanted to point out really quickly here with these highlights, Anything in yellow that you see is absolutely directly related to R3 in some form or fashion, whether they're a member or they are actually using the Corda platform to connect with other banks and other financial institutions. And as you can see, who's in number one? That's HSBC Holdings, and that's actually something I talked about in a previous video. Definitely check them out. But as you can see, they are on the top, most certainly directly related to R3. And again, everything in yellow is most certainly connected to R3. Anything in blue is most certainly connected to Ripple, and a little red dot indicates that they are some form or fashion connected to the Hyperledger fabric. So keep this in mind, guys, because this right here is predominantly all of your top performing European banks, from the largest to the smallest. And if these top performing banks right off the bat are already connected to R3, can you see the bigger picture here? It is quite likely that a lot of these European banks might be going the route of R3, which again is connected to Ripple. And of course, these banks right here in some form of fashion are already directly connected to Ripple and Hyperledger fabric, just simply because they're members. So very, very, very extensive, very expansive. And again, this is just simply a quick shot to show you all how big this is getting when it comes to these banks across the world, but more importantly here in the EU section, dealing with getting themselves onboarded with the distributed ledger technology. So let me know what you guys think about this information. One last thing, I want to give a huge shout out to a lot of the members on crypto Twitter here when it comes to the XRP community. I posted this information last night when it comes to this list, and really right off the bat, the people that I either follow or that follow me immediately started connecting additional dots, as you can see here. And I just found it very interesting that a lot of these members here of the XRP community are just pretty diligent with this information. Either they are posting it every single day to connect additional links, or they're just simply helping out the information that you've posted, because again, there's so much information, there's a wealth of knowledge out there when it's coming to connecting these dots with Ripple and R3, that having a big XRP community is extremely helpful. And as you can see here, I Am Legion, I've most certainly talked about him. He is definitely connecting additional dots here, helping me out. So I went through and actually corrected the highlighted chart there to show everyone again just simply how expansive that European list there of all those largest banks are being connected to R3 and Ripple. Something else I wanted to end on here with I Am Legion especially, he actually stumbled across something that's a little bit of an Easter egg when it comes to Temenos and T24. Something is possibly about to launch on April of 2019. So in the next couple months, stay tuned for that. Again, if you want to find out a little bit more, maybe even find out how this is going to be linked into something that comes to a lot of these banks and financial institutions, follow I Am Legion at PAISAN 268-49860. I know it's kind of a long name there to follow, but type that in, find I Am Legion, find me at crypto_ginger, and of course go through here, and all of these members that are actually part of Twitter that have the little @ before them, you can follow every single one of them, be updated pretty much every single day on links and connections that they are finding. So again, huge shout out to the XRP community. You guys rock. Thank you so much. And for all of those who are actually brand new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for being a part of this channel. If you are new, hit the like and subscribe button. Take advantage of that Ledger Nano S link that's in the description so you can secure your cryptocurrencies. And like I said in my previous video, if you just want to dabble into cryptocurrencies and get a feel for it, download the Uphold wallet. It is free. It allows you to get onboarded from fiat into cryptocurrencies, more importantly, getting into XRP. If you're someone who wants to just simply take a look at it, dabble with it, do that. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just trying to show you that on a very, very small scale, that Uphold wallet is absolutely perfect for anybody that's brand new wanting to get into this and just simply get their feet wet. So take a look at those links in the description. Again, thank you for watching this and have a nice day.